Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give in this cause will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you, sir.
You come this way. Good morning. If you would please introduce yourself and spell your name for us.
My name is Deputy Nathaniel Jones, Nathaniel Jones.
Thank you, Deputy. Deputy, how are you employed?
I am employed with the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office.
What is your job at the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office?
I am a law enforcement deputy.
Okay. Do you have any specific duties there as a member of the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office?
I am assigned to District 1 Patrol.
And as part of a patrol, you go out and you respond to scenes, you pull over traffic infractions, that sort of thing. Is that right?
Correct.
All right. What was your position back on August 29th of 2022?
I was in the same capacity as a patrol deputy.
How long have you been working with the Sheriff's Office at that time?
At that time, roughly 1 year.
All right. Prior to that, had you had any law enforcement training or experience?
No.
Okay. Now, did you receive a call to respond out to a scene on Heritage Club Drive?
Yes.
And what did you believe you were responding to?
I believed it was a 911 emergency call. The details of the call weren't, to my knowledge, given because of the open line status of the caller.
Okay. Responding to shots being fired?
Yes.
Okay. And were you one of the first units on the scene?
Correct.
When you pulled up, did you see anyone as you were walking up?
Yes.
What did you see?
I seen as I was driving up to the residence, I seen a male who was pointing in the direction of the residence, trying to guide me to the correct residence.
Okay. And then what did you see when you got to the residence?
Once I got to the residence, I seen a female exit the residence and approach me as I got out of my vehicle.
Okay. Did you have any involvement with her?
Yes. I had asked her, first she volunteered the information that her.
Judge, he's just arriving on scene.
Yes,
Established
a predicate.
Yes. What was her demeanor at that time? What was her behavior like?
She was frantic.
Okay. And did she appear to be under an emotional stress of what had happened?
Correct.
Judge, I believe this would be considered an excited utterance.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. And so as you approached her, what was going on?
She was telling me that her son had been shot.
Okay. And what did you do when she said that? What did you do?
I tried to get information as to who had shot her son, and if the person who had shot her son was still within the area.
Okay. And did she respond to you?
She was very frantic, but she just kept saying, "My son, my son, my son."
Okay. And did you go into the scene, into the apartment?
I did. I made that decision once I realized I wasn't gonna get any additional information to try and clear the scene.
All right. And were you one of the first ones into the apartment?
That is correct.
All right. And did you come with your guns drawn?
That is correct.
All right. What did you see when you went into the residence?
As I entered the front door of the residence, I seen a gentleman, adult male, and a juvenile male sitting on the living room couch.
Okay. Who all entered the residence with you at that time?
Deputy White and myself were the first two to enter the residence.
All right. After seeing that male holding his son, what did you do at that point?
I asked him if there was anyone else in the residence. I realized it was a two-story residence. So for safety of the deputies and everyone else, I asked if there was anyone else within the residence.
And what was his response?
He said no.
Okay. And then what did you do?
I then took the decision to clear the upstairs floor of that residence.
All right. And so where did you go at that point?
I walked up the stairs and I seen that there were multiple bedrooms within the second floor. And me and Deputy White cleared the 2 bedrooms on the second floor.
And which bedroom did you clear?
I cleared the master bedroom first, along with the bathroom that was on that side of the upstairs floor.
Right. After clearing the master bedroom, what did you do?
I walked back to Deputy White's position where he was positioned near the children's bedroom, and I entered the children's bedroom along with Deputy White.
All right. And what did you see in the children's bedroom?
I seen bunk beds, and on the top bunk bed, we located a victim.
All right. What was this victim? What did she look like?
The juvenile female victim.
Okay, so little girl.
Yes, sir.
And what was her condition that you saw when you first saw her?
When I first saw her, she was laying on her side, facing towards the inward of the bedroom, and she had what appeared to myself to be a gunshot wound to the head.
Were you wearing a body worn camera on this day?
I was.
Showing you what's been marked as State's Exhibit number 5. It's already been admitted into evidence. Did you review that video?
I did.
And is that video a fair and accurate depiction of what you saw when you went in on that day?
Yes.
Just publish it this time.
Yes.
Judge just renewing again any evidence or testimony based on.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Who shot him? Who shot him?
It was the gun. It was the gun. It was the
Did he
gun.
shoot himself?
No, he did not. And the gun went off. I mean, my son.
The ambulance is on the way.
What can you
Stay
fucking
outside.
hurry up?
Stay outside. Sheriff's office. How many people are inside? I'm gonna go around the corner. Is there anybody upstairs? Is there anybody upstairs? Okay, can you go up there? We'll clear up here. I'll hook around this corner, go out there. Sheriff's office, anyone upstairs? This is there back here. You see your firearm? Oh. Hey, we got another one up here. What the? There's another. We got another child up here. 0-0 gunshot wound. That's clear. Let me grab my med bag. Okay, see the fire still up there. She's still breathing. No, we're out of here now. She's breathing. There's a shell right here. I don't see it, signal 0.
There'll be a couple of questions about that. So when the video starts, there's no sound to it. Is that common when these body worn cameras?
That is correct. There is a buffering period prior to activation there's no audio.
So it's like the first minute when the camera comes on, there's a
Prior to the activation, there's no audio. So there will be video, but there will be no audio until I physically activate it myself.
Okay. Now, when you the signal 0 you all are talking about, what is that?
We're referring to a weapon. In this case, we're referring to a firearm.
So when they keep saying looking or check for a signal 0, you're talking about looking for basically the firearm, right?
The weapon used.
Weapon use, correct. All right. Now the body worn camera shuts off right there. At that point in time, what do you do?
From the end of the video, my body camera does continue to roll. But however, you're referring to
What you did
Okay.
after that point?
After that point, I pulled the victim closer towards the middle to the bed where I could, easily reach her. Once she was towards the middle of the bed, I
Luxury apartments.
and then I placed her on the bedroom floor in an effort to begin to render aid to the victim.
Okay. And so you were the one who actually physically got her off of that bed and put her down on the floor to give aid to her, correct?
That is correct.
And did Deputy White actually come back with a med bag?
Yeah, Deputy White returned with his medical bag, and I used some of the gauze that was within his medical bag to apply pressure to some of her wounds that were on her head.
Right. And did ultimately the paramedics arrive and take her?
That is correct.
All right. After the paramedics arrived and took the little girl, what was your assignment at that point?
I had went outside. My vehicle was the closest vehicle to the residence front door. Therefore, I was tasked with putting the defendant within my vehicle and holding him there.
All right. And what was his demeanor while in your patrol car?
He was calm within the back of my patrol car. We conducted a pat down on him prior to putting him in the patrol car, and he was compliant with us.
Okay. What else did you do in the investigation?
I maintained the integrity of the crime scene log until I was relieved.
Okay. And what does that mean when you talk about maintaining the integrity of a crime scene log?
We log everybody who had entered the crime scene and left the crime scene while we were on scene at that time for the crime until I'm relieved.
So by this point in time, you all had put up that yellow tape that you all put up?
That is correct. The tape had already been put up by the time I went back outside.
Okay. And it's your job at that point just to document who comes inside that tape and who doesn't. Well, not who doesn't, but who comes inside that tape, correct?
Yeah, who comes in and then leaves as well.
All right. And you did that until you were relieved of your duty on that day?
Until I was relieved the next morning at the end of my shift.
So you were there for a while?
I was there until the end of my shift the next morning. Yeah.
Okay. One moment, Your Honor. Judge, I'll pass the witness at this time.
All right.
Good afternoon, Deputy Jones. How are you?
I'm doing well.
All right, I just have some few additional questions for you. At the beginning of the body cam, we understand you have that time period where you're always, that's policy, how you're always going to have that off, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, you guys, don't, what is it, like a minute, that's standard that you do not record?
Prior to activation. There's a buffering
Right.
period. Yes.
Right, okay. And everybody does that. There's no issue with that, correct?
Is there an issue with my camera buffering?
No, there's no issue with the fact that you don't hear anything for the first minute or so, correct? That's typical.
It can be, yeah.
Okay, all right. All right, and when you first go to the residence, the door was cracked, was it not? It was not completely open, but kind of cracked open, correct?
That's correct.
And I could hear somebody saying, come in to you. That's going to be Mr. Bass, correct?
Correct.
And you said that somebody waved you down, some sort of male is trying to help you get to the scene where you were supposed to be, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that's because you didn't even have an apartment number in the call. Is that right?
To my knowledge, yes.
Okay. And you indicated about the female that you talked to. You tried to talk to her, but she wasn't very helpful to you, correct?
Correct.
And you asked her numerous times who shot your child, and she never answered that question, correct?
Correct.
Now, Mr. Bass was cooperative with you during the time you had contact with him, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And he's going to be in your patrol vehicle for some period of time before he is transferred to another patrol vehicle. Is that fair?
Yes,
And you had never met him before, correct?
that is correct.
And there wasn't any noticeable behavior. He was very quiet. Is that fair?
Yes,
And you're actually going to be the first deputy to enter that townhome, correct?
yes.
I wanted to ask you about your comment about Mr. Bass when you asked, is anybody upstairs? And he says, no one. As you're entering the residence, who are you with? What deputy is with you?
I believe Deputy White was behind me.
So you're with Deputy White and you remember Mr. Bass, and we hear on the body cam, he says no. Is that right?
Yes,
All right. And that is something that you did not document in your police report. Is that correct?
correct.
Okay. And your reports, you want them to be accurate and detail things you might have seen and heard, correct?
Yes,
Especially from somebody who's being charged with a homicide, correct? You want to make sure you're documenting.
yes,
Okay. So you're pretty quick, are you not? When you walk past Mr. Bass, you're not standing there to talk to him. You actually never stop walking and just walk past him to go upstairs, correct?
yes,
And Deputy White is behind you, correct?
yes,
So if Deputy White had heard something in addition to that, you may not have heard it, right?
that's correct.
Right, okay. All right, need a moment. Deputy Jones, thank you very much. We don't have any further questions for you.
Anything else?
There you go.
All right, you can step down. Thank you. Is he released from his subpoena?
Stay, yes.
Yes, Judge, he's released.
All right, thank you. Approach the bench for a minute.
3 reasons Faye makes working with
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give in this cause will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
If you would please introduce yourself and spell your name for us.
My name is Danielle Janicic, Danielle Janick.
Good afternoon, Ms. Janicic. Tell the jury where you work.
The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office,
How long have you worked at the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office?
almost 4 years.
Explain to the jury, what is your title at the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office?
I am a crime scene investigator.
Help us understand exactly what does it mean to be a crime scene investigator? Tell us what you do.
When a call for service comes out, we are the ones that go to the scene and collect evidence, take photographs, swab for suspected biological fluids, and then a process for latent prints.
How long have you worked at Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office?
Almost 4 years.
When you started, did you get hired as a crime scene investigator?
Yes.
How many times have you been called out to a scene and been asked to do your duties as a crime scene investigator?
Hundreds.
On August 29th of 2022, is it fair to say that you've been to hundreds of scenes by that time as well?
Yes.
So on August 29th of 2022, do you get a call to be a crime scene investigator on the case we're here for today involving the defendant Jermaine Bass?
Yes.
Tell the jury what time about were you called to come out to the scene?
I was requested at about 12:20 a.m. to respond to Tampa General.
Now, when you get called to come out to a scene to be a crime scene investigator, who calls you to come? Is it like a patrol deputy or is a detective involved at that point?
Typically, it's a detective.
When you arrive after being called to a crime scene to be a crime scene investigator, do you typically meet with a detective before you conduct any of your duties as a crime scene investigator?
Yes.
On August 29th, or the morning of August 30th, when you arrived at the scene for this case, did you meet with a detective?
I did.
Who was that detective?
At the hospital, it was Detective Gibson,
So what hospital are we talking about?
Tampa General.
When you arrived at Tampa General Hospital, you meet with Detective Gibson. What do you do after you talk with Detective Gibson?
He requested that photos and evidence be collected of 2 individuals,
Who are the 2 individuals?
Jayla and Jermaine Bass.
Okay, and at the time, did you take photos at that scene?
Yes.
Then what did you do after that?
I responded to the Heritage Club Drive residents, to assist my lead CSI, Shannon Bader.
When you arrived at the Heritage Club residence and you were assisting, what does it mean to assist the lead crime scene investigator? Help us understand, what does that mean?
So usually the lead is the one that is taking the photographs, the one marking evidence, collecting evidence. I am behind her doing presumptive swabs, assisting with packaging her swabs or packaging her evidence further and getting it out of her way, or creating a scene diagram.
In this case, when you went to the Heritage Club townhome, were you asked to create a crime scene diagram?
I was.
Explain to the jury, how do you make a crime scene diagram? And do you just look around and sketch it out? What's the process to make that?
So we use something called a Faro scanner, and the easiest way to describe it is if you're looking to rent an apartment or buy a home, sometimes they have 3D virtual tours. These scanners are something similar to that. So we create a 3D virtual tour of the scene, and from that I can create a 2D diagram that is computer generated.
And did you do that in this case?
I did.
Your Honor, at this point, I'm asking to, or I'm going to show the witness. This has been pre-marked as State's Exhibit 25. Do you recognize this?
Yes.
Is this a fair and accurate representation of the diagram that you created in this case of the Heritage Club address?
Yes.
Judge, at this time, I'm asking you to enter into evidence and publish what's with your identification as State's Exhibit 25.
All right, it's been admitted.
Permission to publish?
Yes.
So I'm placing State's Exhibit 25. There's 2 pieces of paper. Placing 25A on the Elmo. So if you notice, I'm pointing to the bottom left corner of 25A where we're noticing the words front door. Help us understand, would this be the bottom floor or the top floor when you went to make this diagram?
This would be the bottom floor.
So if you're entering from the parking lot, you're coming through where my finger is pointing right there where it says front door.
Yes.
Immediately to our left, we see what?
A kitchen?
The rectangle, excuse me, right to the right of the word kitchen. What is that representing?
The kitchen island?
Moving along, we're going further. My finger is pointing to the words dining area. Right above that, we're seeing what looks like to be a table and chairs. Is that representative of
Yes.
table and chairs? Okay. What is just beyond that at the top of your diagram? We see 2 squares with W/D. Tell the jury what that represents.
It's a washer dryer closet.
Now we're going forward into the living room. It looks like we are seeing number 1 and number 2. What are those representing?
They are evidence markers.
Okay, so, and it looks like number 1 is to the left of a longer rectangle. What is that representing? That black longer rectangle at the bottom, just off to the center to the right.
It is a couch.
It looks like evidence marker 2 is just between 2 like darker squares to the right of the rectangle. What is that representing?
Like sofa chairs?
And to the right of that, you see a little sketch. Can you explain to the jury what we see to the right where my finger is? It's all the way to the right bottom right corner.
It was a little pink like Barbie car, like that you could sit and drive in.
Like a child's toy.
Yeah.
Now moving across the room, we see what are we looking at right here? It looks like another rectangle. I'm pointing to the top center, almost off to the right. There's a rectangle and it looks like it has some lines like a grid. What does that represent?
Those are stairs.
So moving to 25B that I'm placing on the Elmo now, is it safe to say that the sketch diagram of 25B represents the upper level or the second floor of the townhome?
Yes.
So on the bottom left, we're looking at, do those also represent the stairs? And my finger is pointing to the bottom left.
Yes, they do.
So you're walking up, it looks like you immediately run into, it's white, it's the outline of like a rectangle with a number 3 next to it. Explain to the jury, what is number 3 representative of?
A cabinet or a shelf that was at the top of the stairs.
Right next to that, we see what looks like hallway. And then to the right of that, it looks like a line going to the right, and there's a series of small dots that connect it to the left. What is that representative of?
That is the hallway going into the front bedroom, which was the children's bedroom.
When you walk in, we're seeing a couple of different shapes, and we're seeing a couple of different words. So we're looking here to the left. There is a rectangle with 2 squares or 2 rectangles on the other sides of it, and it says dollhouse. Tell us what that means.
It was a dollhouse, like a Barbie dollhouse, that was in front of the bed.
The bed that we're looking at here to the left, it looks like we see a top rectangle and then a lower rectangle that is visible from the top aerial view. Explain to us why can I see the bottom one even though I can see the top one as well?
It was a double bunk bed with a larger bed at the bottom.
So what did it look like? Maybe it was like a twin over full or a twin over king. They're different sizes.
Yes, there were different sizes.
Gotcha. Now we're looking at, we can see on the top a number to the left. It looks like D2. Do you see that right there?
Yes.
What is that representative of?
It was a marker of, I believe it was a suspected bullet hole.
Okay. And we see also the numbers. It looks like on the top bunk here, we see number 6, number 11, number 8, number 10, and number 9. What is that representative of?
Those are all evidence markers.
Number 5, we see with a line. Is that being attributed, number 5, to an evidence marker?
Yes,
And would that be on the top or the bottom bunk?
I believe it was the bottom bunk.
Okay. Now, looking over to the right, we see anytime we see these numbers, is it safe to say those are evidence numbers?
Yes.
So we see what looks like an evidence number 4. Tell us where that was located or what it was around.
It was around 2 sets of TVs, and it appeared to be like a chair, and it was in the corner.
So this line that we talked about earlier with a series of dotted lines before that, does that represent like the doorway?
Yes,
So if you're exiting through this doorway from the children's bedroom with the bunk bed, what's immediately to the right?
a bathroom.
And is that what we see here to the right with like the toilet, and it looks like something in front of the toilet, a shower, and a vanity area?
Yes,
Now walking down this hallway, it looks like there's a doorway to another room. What is that entering?
the master suite, master bedroom.
When you enter this doorway immediately to the right, what do we see?
Another bathroom.
Now, without any further doors, if you keep walking, you walk into what looks like the master bedroom. Is that correct?
Yes,
Now, we see to the right a rectangle up against it. Looks like the wall that separates the bathroom from the master bedroom. Is that representative of a dresser?
yes,
We see several evidence markers, 12, 13, 14, and 18 or 16. Oh yeah, no, that's 18. Are those representative of evidence that were found in those locations on the dresser?
yes,
Looking upwards to the right, we see 15. Is that an evidence marker found on another piece of furniture?
yes, it was another dresser.
Another dresser, okay. Then we see the bed, we see evidence marker 17. Is that representative of a piece of evidence that was found on the bed?
Yes,
Now, when we're looking at both of these, 25A and 25B, is the purpose of doing these 2 diagrams so that every piece of physical evidence that's found at the scene is representative on this diagram.
yes.
Now, after, one second, let me just return this to the clerk. After you're at the Heritage Club address and you document this scene of the physical evidence that's found while you're assisting crime scene investigator Bader, did you have an occasion to go to a hospital where another victim, in this case, Jermaine Bass, who we call JJ, was located?
Yes,
Did you have an occasion to take photographs of JJ and his injuries?
yes,
And I'm showing you what's been trademarked for identification as states 27A through D. Do you recognize these photos?
yes,
Is this a fair and accurate representation of what the child victim JJ looked like at the time that you photographed him?
yes,
Your Honor, at this time, I offer into evidence what's been trademarked for identification as states 27A through D as states 27A through D.
You're admitted
Do I have
already.
permission to publish?
Yep.
Thank you, Judge. I'm putting on the Alma what's been trademarked for identification as state, or what's been entered into evidence as states 27A. What hospital was he located?
he was at TGH as well in the PICU,
What's the PICU, do you know?
the pediatric intensive care unit.
When you walked in, this wound that we're seeing for the record, on 27A, the photo is depicting what looks like the ear of the child. And up to the right, we see a wound. Is that his left ear?
Yes.
And I'm putting 27B on the Elmo. Often in these photos, we see these measurements used. Can you explain to the jury why and when you decide to use these measurements in photos?
When we take our series of photos, we usually do overall mid-range close-up. And what you're seeing are close-ups. And then with our close-ups, we add scales to give a relative size to show how large an item is or how small an item is.
This injury on 27B, is it the same injury that's depicted on what we just looked at on 27A?
It is.
I'm placing on the Elmo 27C. Tell the jury what we're looking at on 27C.
That is the JJ's right pinky finger.
An injury to his right pinky finger. I'm putting on the Elmo, what's been entered into evidence is 27D. Is this the same photo that we just looked at, but the only difference as this one having the marker so we know how big it is?
Yes.
One moment. So we have the injury to JJ, the left side of his head right above his ear, and then we have the injury to his right pinky that we just saw in those photos, correct?
Yes.
Judge, may I just have a moment?
Yes.
I don't have any further questions.
All right. Cross?
No questions.
All right, you can step down. Thank you.
Thank you.
She released from her subpoena?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Call your next witness.
Crime scene investigator Shannon Bader.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give in this cause will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Good afternoon. If you would please introduce yourself and spell your name for us.
Hello, my name is Shannon Bader, SHANNON, last name Bader, BADER.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Where do you work?
I work for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office as a crime scene investigator
Tell the jury, how long have you worked at HCSO as a crime scene investigator?
for about 3 years.
On August 29th of 2022, did you work as a crime scene investigator with Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office?
Yes.
When did you get hired?
Well, with the sheriff's office in 2019 and crime scene 2021.
So at the time of August 29th of 2022, tell the jury how many times you have been called to a crime scene as a crime scene investigator to document.
Probably at least a dozen times.
When you go to a crime scene, help us understand as a crime scene investigator, how do you decide what to document and what not to document?
Basically, we work with a crime scene detective.
When you arrived at the Heritage Grove address associated with this case to do your investigation, did you meet with the detective at that time?
Yes.
Who did you meet with?
Detective Clay Holman.
Do you guys walk through the scene together and have some sort of understanding before you start documenting?
Yes.
Did you do that in this case?
Yes, I did.
When you arrived, tell them what you saw.
So I walked through. It is a townhome that when you walk in, the kitchen is on your left. There's a living room area. Then you walk up the stairs. There's a bedroom to your right. There's a bathroom kind of in the hallway area. There is then a master bedroom in the front, also with a bathroom inside.
Tell us what you're doing when you first walk through and during your process of documenting.
So first I walk through and I do a walkthrough of the scene. And then what I do is take overall photographs, which are basically photographs of the house and everything as is when I get there.
When you walk through and you're working with a detective to decide how to document, what do you use to place next to items that you see that may be of evidentiary value?
Evidence markers.
What do those evidence markers look like?
So I have yellow cones, or I also use green scale markers or yellow scale markers.
So tell us the difference between the scale markers and the cones. The cones, are they like physical cones that you can place next to something?
Yes.
What about the green and yellow scale markers? Are those like the cones or are they something different?
They're something else. They're basically like sticker scale rulers.
Do they all represent the same thing when they're used in one crime scene?
In this case, particularly, I use the yellow evidence markers to document items of evidentiary value of physical items that I was collecting. I use the green scale markers to document areas of red substances. And then I use the yellow scale markers to document any damage that I saw.
So yellow evidence markers were for physical things.
Yes.
The green scales, which are like stickers, that was used to document red substance you saw.
Yes.
And the yellow stickers were used for what?
For damages.
Damage, okay. Judge Albee, do I have permission to publish what's been entered as states 22A through EEEE?
Yes.
I'm placing on the Elmo states 22A. Tell us, when you first walk into the apartment or the townhome, is this what you see?
Yes.
What are we looking at in this photo?
So this is the living room area. The front door is behind me and the back door is in front of me. And this is, you can see evidence marker 1, and then on the floor should be green scale marker A.
So the cone of evidence marker 1 indicates to us that there was something physical next to it. What was physical next to it? Do you remember?
Yes, this was the ACE bandage clip.
Okay. Now on the floor, you told us that the green scale stickers represent red substance. Is that what's notated on the floor right here?
Yes.
We're looking at 22B. Is this a close-up of that green sticker that we just saw?
Yes, it is.
And if we zoom in, if we zoom in, the red substance that's depicted on the floor, you can kind of see it in like the wood graining. Is that what you deem of evidentiary value to put the measure sticker next to it?
Yes.
We're looking at 22C. So when you first walk into the apartment, we saw evidence marker 1 was a couch. This evidence marker 2, are these 2 chairs? Was that just on the other side of the couch as you're walking into the room?
Yes.
Tell us what physical is next to evidence marker 2.
This is a blue cell phone.
We're looking at 22D. When you go to walk up the stairs, are these green stickers? We see 1, 2, 3 in this photo. What do you see on those green stickers, and what was the purpose of placing them there?
These are more areas of red substances as you're walking up the stairs on the wall. That should be green scale C, and then D and E up there.
I'm placing 22E on the Elmo. Now we're seeing a close-up, and if you zoom in, there was a green evidence sticker that we can see. It says red substance C that you just referred to. Also depicted, if we see a green sticker here to the left on one of the staircases. Why did you place that evidence marker there?
There's a red substance on that stair.
We're looking at 22F. Tell me the vantage point of this photo.
So this is kind of looking up. I'm standing in the middle area of the stairwell, and you're looking up to the landing.
We see a green marker on the left. Was that to document and mark a red substance as well?
Yes.
I'm placing on the Elmo 22G. At this point, is this as if you had walked up to the very top of the stairs and you're looking ahead?
Yes.
Now, we can see a yellow evidence marker 3 in this view. Tell the jury what is immediately to the right of the physical evidence marker 3.
This is a gauze pad.
I'm placing 22H on the Elmo. Is this just a closer up view of that gauze pad?
Yes.
I'm placing on the Elmo 22I. Which room are we looking into?
This is the kid's bedroom.
So I want to zoom in. I see a green evidence marker on the left side of the doorway. You can see the brass or metal, door hinge to the left. Why did you place that green evidence marker on the doorway right there?
There was an area of red substance there.
Now, on the other side, the green area that we just looked at, that's not the side that the door is connected to, correct?
Correct.
So the area where I'm pointing on the right side of the photo, where immediately to the right of that, it looks like there's like an open closet right there. That's where the door is attached to, correct? So it opens up inward.
Yes.
Now on 22J, which I'm placing on the Elmo, is this the same doorway that we're looking at, but we're looking at the actual side of the door?
Yes.
And I see an evidence marker in the middle. It's green. Tell us what that represents.
The red substance on the door.
Now we're zooming in. Tell the jury and explain for the record. Everything's written down. What color is the door?
White.
So the spots that we're seeing in this photo, is that the red substance that you deemed should be marked with that green marker?
Yes.
I'm placing 22K on the Elmo. We see in the bottom right-hand corner a silver door handle. Is that the silver door handle on the door from the previous photo we were looking at?
Yes.
So when we're walking into the room, is this the children's room that we're walking immediately into?
Yes.
In the middle of the room, tell the jury, I'm pointing to a circle here that has a pink around it, and tell them what it is.
Trampoline.
And immediately in front of that, we see a white rectangle. What was that?
A pillow.
We see a green evidence marker on the pillow, and I'm going to zoom in so that we can see it a little bit better. What color is the pillow?
White.
And you can see that there is a red substance on the pillow. Is that why you chose to place that evidence marker there?
Yes.
Immediately behind the trampoline, it looks like, is that a dresser?
Yes.
I'm placing 22L on the Elmo. We see on the right side of this photo a brown, it looks like the same dresser you just pointed out in the photo before. Is that correct?
Yes.
Tell the jury there is what's in the middle where the green marker is that we see that I'm pointing to right now.
That is another red substance on the floor.
Now we're looking at 22M. Are these the same monitors that we're looking at here in 22L?
Yes.
So as we walk over and we take a better look at 22, or at the monitors that were on 22L, on 22M, what is the yellow evidence marker signifying?
This is marking the red cell phone that's on the ground.
22N, I'm placing on the Elmo. Tell the jury what the purpose of the green sticker is.
This is marking the red substance on the ground.
I'm putting on the Elmo 22O. What are we seeing here? We see something in the doorway.
The dollhouse.
Was that there all along, or was that moved during the course of the investigation?
It was moved.
Where was it originally?
Up against that pink house that's against the bunk bed.
So I'm pointing to the right where I see gray framing. Is that the gray framing of the bunk bed you're talking about?
Yes.
Immediately to the left of that, we see like a darker hot pink that looks like some sort of child's house. Are you indicating that the one on the left was pushed up against?
Yes.
Okay. Now, this marker 7, what is that indicating?
There's a piece of a gun holster in the, I guess, baby holder.
Like some sort of like baby doll
Yeah.
toy. Okay, we're looking at 22F. I'm placing on the Elmo. Is this a closer up of the evidence marker you were just discussing?
Yes.
And once we zoom in, what do we see inside of this baby doll accessory here?
That is a piece of a gun holster.
A piece of a gun holster. 22Q. What are we looking at here?
This is the top of the bunk where the stairs are, and there's 3 areas of red substances marked.
So we see one on the left side here of the top of the ladder, correct?
Yes.
One up at the top corner where you would like walk up the ladder, and then one immediately to the left of that.
Yes.
We're looking at 22R. Tell us what we're looking at in 22R.
This is the top bunk where you could now see a green scale marker. You can kind of still see the one in the corner. 2 areas of damage marked, and then yellow evidence marker 6.
I think this is the first time that we see the yellow markers. So you said the yellow stickers represent damage. So for instance, we see damage A. What does that look like to you? Is that in the drywall?
Yes, that's the hole in the wall.
So we see, I'm zooming in for the record on the damage. I just zoomed in on damage A. Now I'm zooming in on damage B. What are we looking at damage B right here?
That's damage on one of the bed posts on the top bunk.
And then we see another green sticker right above the bed frame on the far left. What is that indicating?
That is marking a red substance on that wall.
So on that wall, tell us what color is the wall?
White.
Any of the spotting that we're seeing right there, is that what you deem to be red substance?
Yes.
Oops, wrong thing, I'm sorry. Now we see on the right side of this picture, a physical yellow evidence marker number 6. Tell the jury what the physical evidence marker number 6 is representing.
That is representing a casing.
22S, I'm placing on the Elmo. This is a similar view as the one before, would you agree?
Yes.
The difference is we see a marker on the mattress. Tell us what the marker on the mattress indicates.
That is showing the red substance on the mattress.
We're seeing on 22T, tell us what we see.
These are 2 red substances on the wall, and this is a view from the bottom bunk.
So, and to reference this, I want to put on 22U. So in 22U, what are we looking at?
So this is the bunk bed. You could see the top and the bottom in this photo.
Explain to the jury so that they can understand what size were the beds?
The exact number I do not recall.
But was it a queen over a queen?
Oh, twin.
A twin on the top, and on the bottom, did the mattress fit the frame perfectly on top?
On the bottom, no.
On the top.
On the top, yes.
Okay, and on the bottom, no. So help us understand, was the mattress too big or too small for the frame on the bottom?
On the bottom, it was too small.
Now, what are we seeing in, we're looking at 22U specifically, and I want to focus your attention. You can see that there is a mattress on the bottom, but then it looks like some sort of item behind the mattress, flat up against the wall. What was that item?
A giant teddy bear.
And what did it look like the purpose of the giant teddy bear being between the wall and the mattress to you?
Objection, speculation.
Sustained.
When you were at the scene looking at the giant teddy bear, did it fit between the mattress and the wall?
Yes.
Was the mattress touching the wall at that time?
No.
Now, I want to refer back to 22T. There's 2 evidence markers here. Oop. What are they representing to you? We see one that says red substance Q. And it looks like a straight line down. What did it look like to you when you were there in person and had a chance to look at it up close?
It was the red substance on the wall, and then next red sub are also a red substance, both consistent with blood.
Now, we just talked about you. So let's go to V. This gives us a better view of evidence marker 6 that we talked about before. What are we looking at that's immediately to the right of evidence marker 6?
This is the casing on the bed.
22W. Is this the same casing we just viewed as next to evidence marker 6?
Yes.
I'm placing on the Elmo 22X. Is this the top bunk or the bottom bunk?
The top bunk.
And are these the same damage marks, A and B, that you pointed to before, and red substance marks that we've seen in other photos?
Yes.
The pillow, was that on the mattress when you were taking photos?
Yes.
I'm placing 22Y. Is this a closer up of the red substance we talked about before, right next to the teddy bear on the bottom bunk?
Yes.
22Z. Tell us what we're looking at in this photo.
This is the bathroom that is next to the kid's bedroom.
Now, on the far right of this photo, where my finger is located, the far right, you can see an open door. Tell the jury, where does that door lead to?
That door is the child's bedroom.
So the door that I'm pointing to in the middle of the photograph that you can see that's open, the wall above here that I'm pointing to, which is right next to the tile from the shower for the record, that wall is shared by this bathroom and the children's room, correct?
Yes, correct.
22AA, I'm placing on the Elmo. What are we looking at here on the right? We see an evidence marker.
This is the yellow scale marker documenting damage on the wall.
And it's labeled damage A1. We also see a marker on the left side. It looks like there's a shower curtain rod and a shower curtain. What is documented here on this side?
That is documenting damage on the shower curtain.
So I'm looking at 22BB, I'm placing on the Elmo. Damage A1, is that on the wall that we just looked at in the bathroom?
Yes.
Damage A2 in 22CC Is that the damage to the shower curtain that you were just talking about?
Yes.
I'm placing on the Elmo 22D. Damage A2 that you just discussed on the shower curtain, is that the same one?
Yes.
Now, what are we looking at here on the left? Tell us, describe to us what that damage is and where it was located.
That's damage A3, and it's in the shower on the wall.
We're looking at 22E. I'm placing on the Elmo. Is that the same damage you just described?
Yes.
What's located within the damage that we see on this photo?
That would be a projectile.
22FF. I'm placing on the Elmo. So we just left the bathroom. We're not in the bathroom anymore. Where are we right now looking at the damage that is depicted in this photo?
This is the top bunk railing.
I'm placing on the Elmo 22GG. Tell us the vantage point of this photo. I see a marker that says A1 and damage B2. Where are you standing when this photo was taken?
So now I'm standing inside that bathroom that is next to the child's bedroom, and we're looking at the wall that is shared with the child's bedroom.
Is this the same bathroom that just showed the damage that was to the shower curtain and the projectile that was found in the shower tile that we just looked at?
Yes.
Same room.
Yes.
We're looking at 22HH. We see damage B2. Again, is that the same bathroom that we've been discussing?
Yes.
22II. Tell us what we're looking at. Which room are we in now?
This is a kid's bedroom, and this is a view of the bottom bunk and where the stairs start.
When we're looking at this bottom bunk, we see what looks like a pink and purple blanket. Behind that, we see kind of a big lump back there. Is that the teddy bear you were talking about earlier?
Yes.
We see an evidence marker number 5. What is that significant?
That is another casing on the bed on the bottom bunk.
We're looking at 22JJ. What's the purpose of this photo?
This is showing the height of how high the bunk beds are.
So we see what looks like a measuring tool here on the left, and it looks like the top portion of the railing on the top bunk is 5 feet and 5 inches. Is that fair?
Yes.
I'm placing on the Elmo 22KK. Tell the jury what we're looking at here. We see 3 evidence markers, 8, 9, and 10.
These are marking 3 more casings.
Now, this photo, is this of the top bunk or is this the bottom bunk?
The top bunk.
22LL. Is this a close-up? We're looking at 8 right here with a casing right next to it. This is just a close-up of the casing located next to that
Yes.
marker. What are we looking at 22MM?
That is the head stamp of that casing.
What about 22NN? We're looking at evidence marker 9 and 10.
Also the casings.
So this casing that I'm pointing to more in the middle, is that attributed to evidence marker number 9?
Yes.
And the casing that's to the left where it looks like the empty cylinder is facing upward towards the ceiling, is that attributed to evidence marker number 10?
Yes.
22BB. Sorry. 2200. I'm placing on the Elmo. Is this the head stamp? Hold on. There we go. Is this the head stamp of the shell casing attributed to evidence marker number 9?
Yes.
23PP. What are we looking at?
That is the casing at evidence marker number 10.
22QQ. Tell the jury what we're looking at.
That is the head stamp of the casing at evidence marker 10.
You've used the term head stamp a couple of times. I don't want to blow over that. Can you explain to the jury when you're using the term head stamp, what does that mean?
So basically the casing, it is the top of the casing that has the imprint and the firing impression on it.
We're looking at 22RR and placing on the Elmo. Tell us the significance of the evidence marker. We see 11.
Evidence marker 11 is showing the bedding on the top bunk.
We're looking at 22SS. I'm placing on the Elmo. Help us get oriented. We've been into the bathroom. We've been into the children's bedroom. We've been downstairs. Where are we now in 22SS?
So now we were in the master bedroom.
22TT. I'm placing on the Elmo. Is this the same master bedroom?
Yes.
Help us understand the vantage point. I see in the middle, I see what looks like an open door right to the right of the silver dresser depicted in this photo. Is that the door that you would use to enter and exit this master bedroom?
Yes.
22UU, I'm placing on the Elmo. Help us understand what we're looking at here.
This is the dresser in that master bedroom, and there is a live round next to evidence marker 12.
I'm going to zoom in. What does a live round mean?
It is a round that has not been fired by a gun.
To the left of evidence marker 12, there is a silver object that I'm pointing to. Is that a live round you just spoke about?
Yes.
I'm placing on the Elmo 22VV. What are we looking at in 22VV?
That is the head stamp of the live round.
22WW. I see evidence marker 13 and 14. Help us understand what they are attributed to.
This is that drawer in that dresser that we just looked at, and 13 is a wallet, and 14 is a gun.
So let's go back to, this is 22TT. In the back, we see evidence markers 13 and 14 in a drawer to the top left that's open. Is that what we're looking at? Just like a top aerial view here in 22WW.
Yes.
I'm placing on the Elmo 22XX. Is this a close-up of the two items you just described?
Yes.
So we have 13 attributed to a wallet, and then 14 attributed to the item that we see right here, which looks like the top of a handgun. Is that correct?
Yes.
22YY. I'm placing on the Elmo. Is 22YY the same firearm that's right here by evidence marker 14?
Yes.
In this photo, it's facing the right. I'm placing 22Z on the Elmo. Is this the same firearm?
Yes.
It's facing the other way.
Yes.
22AAA. I'm placing on the Elmo. What are we looking at here?
That is a magazine that was also in that drawer.
Was it in the drawer because it was in the firearm, or was it separate from the firearm?
It was separate.
Okay. Now we're looking at 22BBB. Orient the jury. Where are we when we find evidence marker 15?
This is next to that dresser, and it is a phone inside of a backpack.
So are we still inside the master bedroom when we find and locate this backpack that's depicted in next to evidence marker 15?
Yes, we are.
22CCC, I'm placing on the Elmo. Orient us to this photo. It looks like there's a hand depicted in the photo. Is that your hand?
Yes.
What are you holding in your hand in 22CCC?
A projectile.
A projectile. Where was this projectile found?
In the wall of the bathroom, sharing that wall that shares the child's bedroom.
So we just left the master bedroom, so let's back up. 22CCC, where this hole in the wall is that from the vantage point of standing in the bathroom where this wall shares the room with the children's bedroom?
Yes.
22DDD, I'm placing on the Elmo. Is that the same projectile we just saw, just a close-up version?
Yes.
22DDD. Did I just say that? 22EEE. I'm placing on the Elmo. What are we looking at?
This is the top bunk mattress after we cut it open.
What was the purpose of cutting the mattress open from the top up?
We had noticed a hole in it.
22FFF. What are we looking at here?
Now we ripped away all the foam inside, and now we're looking inside the coils of the mattress.
So in this photo that we're looking at right here, it looks as though this mattress is now on the bottom bunk. Help us understand.
So because the mattress was on top, in order to just examine it better, we did bring it down to the bottom bunk.
What are we looking at in 22GGG?
You can kind of see the projectile that it's under all the coiling in the mattress.
22HHH. What are we looking at?
That is that projectile.
So this projectile was found in the mattress that was located on the top of the bed.
Yes.
What are we looking at in 22HHH?
This is back to the master bedroom, and it is a security camera on a nightstand.
22III. We see an evidence marker 17.
That is marking that Adidas bag.
When you first initially walked into the master bedroom, was that Adidas bag sitting on the bed, or was it located elsewhere first?
It was located elsewhere.
Where was it located?
In the master closet.
What was the purpose of taking it down from the master closet and onto this bed to photograph it?
This was after the detectives had done their search, and it had found that it was of evidentiary value. So then I took the photograph of it.
Okay, so 22JJJ. What are we looking at in here? What is this the contents of?
This is the contents of that bag at evidence marker 17.
So the same bag that we see in 22III. Are you saying that this is the contents of that same bag in 22JJJ?
Yes.
Now, we're looking at 22LLL, placing it on the Elmo. Oops. It looks like a hand is holding some sort of measuring device. Help us understand, why are there times that you use a measuring device, like a ruler in this case, to show the height of something?
This is showing the height of the damage to show how high it is off the ground.
In this photo, we see an evidence tag to the left that's labeled damage A1. Right above that, we see something poking out of the damage that we've seen before. We've never seen something that thus far out of these photos poking out of the damage. Help the jury understand what's poking out of damage A1.
That is called a trajectory rod.
What's the purpose of using trajectory rods when you are documenting a crime scene?
A trajectory rod is used to show a possible flight of path through 2 areas of damage or more.
So for instance, if you have a crime scene where it looks like you have what some may call a through and through, is a rod helpful in that situation to document the trajectory to show in fact if it was a through and through?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so we see damage A1 that there's a rod there. We're looking at, also for the record, would you agree with me that the damage A1 is just about 5 feet 6 inches high?
Yes.
So now we're looking at 22 MNM. Oh, I guess it would be helpful to just make sure that 22 LLL, this damage A1, what room are we located?
This is the bathroom on that same wall that shares the child's bedroom above the towel rack.
So on the direct other side of this wall, is that where the bunk beds were located?
Yes.
Now, 22 MMM, I'm placing on the LL. Is this the same bathroom that we were just looking at in the previous photo?
Yes.
Now, next to damage A1, again, it looks like we have a ruler. Would you agree with me that damage A1 is about 4 feet, 11 and a half or so inches?
Yes.
We're looking at 22 NNN. What are we looking at in this photo? We see a ruler to the left of what?
This is showing the height of damage A3 in the shower wall.
Would you agree with me that the damage is right around the 4 foot 10 to 11 marker?
Yes.
We're looking at 22000. The green item that we see depicted in the middle of this photo, is that the trajectory rod that you were discussing with the jury earlier that we saw poking out of damage A1?
Yes, it is.
What's the purpose of documenting with the trajectory rod, specifically in this photo?
So this is showing the connection between the damage that I had marked at the yellow scale markers A.
Just using a trajectory rod in a situation such as this one, where the damage depicted shows it could potentially all be caused by one projectile.
Yes.
Speculation.
Overruled.
So in this case, what's depicted in 22000, does damage A1, hold on, does the damage to the wall, the damage to the shower curtain, and the damage to the shower tile containing the projectile all match up using the trajectory rod?
Yes.
We're looking at 22 PPP. We zoom out. What room are we in here?
This is the bathroom.
And we're looking at a marker entitled damage B2. Would you agree with me that the damage B2 looks like it encompasses 4 feet and between 9 and 10 inches?
Yes.
Just for the record, there's 2 bathrooms.
Yes.
Yes.
You said we're in the bathroom.
Yes,
Sorry,
ma'am. Thank you, Judge. The bathroom that we've been discussing all along with the damage.
Yes.
Is that all the bathroom that's directly next to the children's bedroom?
Yes.
Did you notice any damage whatsoever in the bathroom that would be right next to that, adjacent to the master bedroom?
No.
So all along during your testimony, when we've been discussing a bathroom that has any damage to it, we would be talking to the bathroom where the wall is shared directly with the children's room.
Yes.
22 QQQ. Is this photo documenting the difference between the 2 damages on the wall?
Yes.
Damage A1 and damage A2.
Yes. And how far it is from the entryway door.
Okay, and so on the right where this 1 starts, is that where the door would be open?
Yes.
22 RRR, I'm placing on the elbow. Take us back. What room are we in again?
The children's bedroom.
The photo depicted, we see a mattress and bed railings. Are we looking at the top bunk or are we looking at the bottom bunk?
The top bunk.
The damage that we saw, we see damage A and damage B. Are those the damage markers that we discussed before seeing on the top bunk?
Yes.
Now we see an item that is sticking out of damage A and an item right next to damage B. It's not going through damage B, but it looks like it's coming from behind the wall. Help us understand what those two items are. Let's start with the green one that's coming out of damage A.
That is the trajectory rod that we were discussing earlier.
That green trajectory rod that you said we were discussing earlier, is that the same exact trajectory rod that we saw depicted going through the damage into the children's bathroom, through the shower curtain, and into the tile?
Yes, it is.
That is the same exact rod we were looking at.
Yes.
What about, we see it looks like red or pinkish rod that we're looking at here. It's right next to the damage B marker, but it's not coming out of it. Help us understand that.
So this one is going into the hole in the wall. That would be damage B1,
Where is damage B1 located?
on the wall behind that railing.
Okay, so we're looking at 22 SSS. Is that the same trajectory rod we're looking at that goes from the children's bedroom into the children's bathroom?
Yes.
And we see a red substance on the right side as well. It looks like 22 TTT refers back to, is this the children's shower that we were talking about, the green trajectory rod?
Yes.
And referring back to 22 SSS, that's the same hole depicted in both. Is that your testimony?
Yes.
22 U, what are we looking at here?
This is a bag, and on top of it is a holster, a box of ammunition, and a magazine.
Was that bag located right here when it was photographed?
No, it was not.
Where was it located before it was photographed?
That was in the children's bedroom closet.
So it was brought down from the closet so that you could take the contents out and photograph them?
Yes.
22 VVV, or placed on the Elmo. Where is this damage located?
This damage is where the projectile came from, of the B2. In the bathroom that shares the wall with the children's bedroom.
We're looking at 22 WWW. What do we see here?
This is the bottom of the drawer that we saw earlier with evidence markers 13 and 14. This is once taking the clothing out, evidence marker 18 was placed.
What room is evidence marker 18 found in?
The master bedroom.
So the drawer that we saw before, is this the same drawer?
Yes,
So help us understand, you didn't see these items before because of why?
there was clothing on top of it.
Once you removed the clothing, you were able to see these, and that's why you placed this evidence marker there.
Yes.
Tell us what exactly is depicted in this photo.
In this photo, there are loose live rounds at the bottom of this drawer.
And again, a live round is what?
A round that's not been fired yet by a gun.
22XXX. Is this just a closer up of evidence marker 18, those live rounds that you're discussing?
Yes, it is.
22YYY. What are we looking at in 22YYY?
That is the head stamp of the live rounds that were in that drawer.
It looks, let's see, 22AA, and placing on the Elmo. What are we looking at here?
This is the Adidas bag that was at evidence marker 17.
Remind us, where was this Adidas bag initially located?
Initially in the master bedroom closet,
After it was taken from the master bedroom closet, where was it placed so that you could photograph it?
on the bed in the master bedroom.
Now, where are these photographs taking place?
These are taken back at the office at the crime scene section.
22BBBB. What are we looking at here?
This is that same bag just opened.
22CCCC, and placing on the Elmo. What are we looking at here?
These are now the contents I took out of the bag.
So it looks like in this photo, in the top middle, it looks like a computer mouse with some wiring. Is that correct?
Yes.
Then we see to the right of that, we see a zippered pouch right here. And next to that, it looks like another sort of pouch.
Yes.
We see below that, looks like some plastic or one plastic container of sorts. Is that right?
Oh,
It's
yes.
a plastic bag?
Yes.
What's to the left of the plastic bag?
That is a magazine.
Magazine, what's to the left of the magazine?
Ammunition box,
What's to the left of that?
batteries,
Now we're going on what would look like the third row. We see a box of metal objects that have a point to it. What are those?
those are also an ammunition box,
What's inside of the ammunition box?
live rounds.
To the right of that, we see what looks like a rectangle of something. What are those?
Live rounds as well.
To the right of that, we see another rectangle. And for the record, the one to the left that she just described was more, what color would you call that? Silver?
Yes,
The one to the right, what color would you say those were?
more gold,
And what are those gold things?
also live rounds.
Now, next to those gold live rounds, we see 3 items next to each other. They look similar, but they're different lengths. Tell me what they are.
They are magazines,
Magazines for what?
a gun.
We look next to that and we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 boxes. What are those?
Those are ammunition boxes.
Later, do you open up those ammunition boxes and photograph the contents inside of those other 7 ammunition boxes?
Yes,
Below that, it looks like a cell phone, is that correct?
yes.
What's to the left of that? It looks like something on its side, I can't tell.
I think that is a magazine as well.
Okay, and to the left of that, we see 1, 2, 3, 4 items on the bottom of the page. What are those?
Casings,
Casings. There's 1 silver item above that. What is that?
also a casing.
There's 1, what color would you call that? A gold item above
Gold.
that? It looks like actually there's 3 of them. What are those?
Also casings.
To the left of that, we see an orange item that is like a U in nature that looks like it has 2 little silver keys on it. What is that?
A lock of some sort.
Above that, what are we looking at right here?
I'm not sure what that is.
Okay. And to the left of that on the far left bottom corner, it looks like a circle with something coming out of that. What is that?
It's used to hold ammunition, live rounds.
So let me exit all the way. 22 D. Is this a closer up view of the contents of those boxes we just discussed?
Yes, it is.
And remind me again, what are those?
Live rounds.
22 E. We see that circle item that has something coming out of the top. What are we looking at there?
These are the live rounds that came from that circular device.
So when you photographed the circular device the first time, you didn't see those silver items up top. Did those come from within that
Yes.
circular item?
Yes, they did.
Okay, and Judge, may I have a moment to hand this to my co-counsel to put back in order, please? We have just a moment, Judge.
Yes.
Chief, I can, Can I retreat citizens? And Judge, what's been entered into evidence as State's Exhibit 9, do I have permission to publish?
Yes.
And if you want to step down for me? State's Exhibit 9. The shell casing that you got from the bottom bunk, do you remember when you were discussing that with the jury?
Yes.
If you don't mind, if you don't mind removing that, if you look at the label, this is the shell casing that was taken from the bottom bunk, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and we saw a picture of that earlier, correct?
Yes.
Don't mind removing that shell casing. Would you mind putting on almost so they can see? So orient us again. We walk into the children's bedroom. On the bottom bunk, we find this spent shell casing.
Yes.
Okay. You put it back in here. Now, State's Exhibit 10. Do I have permission to publish?
Yes, everything that's admitted you can publish.
Thank you, Judge. State's Exhibit 10 was found on the top bunk, correct? So if you recall, the photos of the blue blanket, and there were 3 shell casings found on the blue blanket, correct? Yes. And this is one of them. Can you put that one? This is 10, sorry. Oops, sorry. We're looking at states 11, which was another one found in the top bunk. Thank you. Looking at states 12. Or double back, sorry. Let me get rid of that. So this is also from the top bunk. On that blue blanket. State 13, the last one from the top bunk. And when you see me opening all of these envelopes, why are they packaged this way?
So the second packaging, the first packaging is the packaging client show us our evidence.
And does it have labels on it too, so that they know and can keep track of where everything is and what it is?
Yes.
So state 13 that we're looking at right now, this is the last of the casings that were found at the top bunk on that blue blanket, right?
Yes.
Now, the next item that we look at, when you were in the master bedroom, we saw pictures of that silver dresser. We saw a wallet next to one of the evidence markers.
Yes.
Here, you have what's on. You pull it out. Is this the wallet that you
Yes.
took into custody?
Yes, it is.
You open it? Oops, sorry. We keep it in. Okay. That's state 15. Look at that again. States 17. I'm opening. The bathroom that we were discussing that had all of the damage was only in the children's bathroom. The projectile that was located in the shower tile, did you collect and take that into custody?
Yes, it is.
There's too many envelopes, hold on. Okay, can you get the tape open or do you mind? There you go. Hold on, I'm just gonna zoom in. Okay. States 18. I'm now opening, I'm gonna orient you back to the shower with damage, children's shower. There was a point on the wall that we saw photos of where the drywall was removed so that we could collect what was inside.
Yes.
It was a projectile that was on it, correct?
Yes.
I think that was the photo that we looked at where we could see your hand in the photo.
Yes.
Can you open what's inside of stage 18 to show the jury what was found inside of that wall? Perfect. States 19. We're looking at, you talked about the bottom bunk bed, or the mattress that you moved to the bottom to collect projectile from the mattress. Was that item seized and collected?
Yes.
Let's see if you can put that on the envelope for me so that the jurors can see what came from that mattress. I just zoomed in for the record. I'll take that back. Thank you. The only other thing I want to clarify, the wallet. You took the package out, sorry. Sure. Can you open up the wallet and take out the ID from the wallet? So that the jurors can see whose ID was contained within the wallet. For the record, the witness pulled out a Florida driver's license. I'm zooming in on it. It says Jermaine Bass Jr. and it's showing the defendant's photograph. That's from the wallet that was found next to the firearm in the silver drawer, correct?
Correct.
I think I need you to stay right here for the next item. I need to have another judge. We have. Can you approach just briefly, Rich?
Sure.
For the record, I opened an item contained within states, I think 17. I don't remember. I'm holding a pillow that has red substance on it. Is this the pillow that was located on the top bunk?
Yes.
Where the rest of the evidence markers and items were located?
Yes.
Whatever the bailiff wants you to do.
Thank you. This is the blue blanket, or one of the blankets that were located on the top of the bed,
Yes.
where those evidence markers and shell casings were located.
Yes.
Looks like it's a Batman
Yes.
blanket. Any more items? Is this the other blanket that was located on the top bunk where we located the shell casings with those markers that we saw in the photos
Yes.
and that you showed on the
Yes.
looks like it's a Star Wars blanket with the red substance. have just a moment, Judge?
Yes.
Judge, if I may just have a moment, please proceed to just repackage.
Mhm.
Thank you. Judge, if you don't mind, the counsel is going to help me repackage. I just have a couple of other questions.
Okay, go ahead.
Come around this way. It's 28A through E, we've already gotten into the evidence.
What number?
It states 28A through E.
All right.
I'm placing on the Elmo states 28A. The damage and the red substance we're looking at in this photograph, where is this from?
This is the child's bedroom on the wall that the bunk bed was on.
So at some point, it looks like in this photo, the bunk bed has been removed out of it. Was that for this photo?
Yes,
So the bunk bed has been moved so that you can see the wall better?
yes,
In one of the photos we were looking at earlier, we were discussing the trajectory rods. You talked about the trajectory rod that we said was like red or pinkish in color. Is this the one that we were referring to that you and I were discussing before?
yes.
Now, the damage that was done to the railing that was up against the wall, is that coordinating with this damage B1 or is this separate?
It is separate. At the time, I thought it was coordinated, but it is separate.
Okay, so, and is the point of the measurements of the wall, help us understand, we've seen other things before, but why place these measurements here for these three items?
So this is a method that we call T-scaling. We basically go across from the entrance of that bedroom across and then down. It just gives you a height of all three of these areas. It shows you the damage, how high it is, and how far across it is, as well as that red substance.
I'm looking at 28B, I'm placing it on the Elmo. We see the scale here for damage A. Tell me how far off the ground damage A is.
This is about 5 feet, 6.5 inches.
We're looking at 28C, I just placed on the Elmo. Help us understand the purpose of the measurement of this photo.
This is showing the height of the top of the bunk bed from the ground up,
How tall is the top portion?
about 5 feet, 5 inches.
I'm placing 28D on the Elmo. What are we looking at here in this photo?
This is the wall that the bunk bed was originally on. However, now the bunk bed has been moved away from the wall, and now you can see those T-scales on the wall.
We're looking at 28E. Is this just a closer up of the measurement we did earlier for the height of the bunk bed?
Yes.
And then just a moment to hold this quick, please. I just have a moment to confirm.
Yes.
I don't have any questions at this time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I need to return scissors.
Press.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you, Ms. Bader?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right, thank you. You're a crime scene technician at the Sheriff's Department?
I am.
You're doing that for quite a few years, correct?
Correct.
And you're not sworn law enforcement, but you are a civilian employee?
Correct.
Okay. All right, just pretty much your involvement in this case going to be limited to a lot of the things that you've discussed with Ms. Rader.
Yes.
Right. So you basically were the main processor in the home, downstairs, staircase, and upstairs as well.
Yes.
Okay. And did anybody assist you at the time that you were doing all your work?
My partner, CSI Daniel Janissy.
She did a Pharaoh, right?
Yes.
And she did the diagram.
Yes.
Okay. And that's typical for you guys to divide up the work. You'll label, process everything, and she Pharaoh and diagram. That's typical.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So you've indicated that GSM is a red substance scale marker.
Yes.
Right. And then PM is a photo marker, just a photo marker. Is that item collected?
Yes.
It is. Okay. And then YSM is a yellow scale marker. Is that just damage or is it an item collected as well?
Damage.
Just damage. Okay. All right. First off, let's talk about phones. My understanding that there were 2 phones that you collected in this case. Is that correct?
There were 3 or 4.
Oh, okay. So we have a blue iPhone that was found where?
The blue iPhone was on the couch downstairs.
Okay. And do you know whose phone that is?
No, I do not.
Okay. There was a red phone, looked like it was in a charger inside the children's room, correct?
Yes.
All right, so what are these other two phones?
There was the one that was evidence marker 15 that was in the backpack in the master bedroom. And then the Adidas bag, there was also a cell phone.
Okay, so there's two phones that are found in bags in the master bedroom. Do we know if those were even working? Anything like that?
I do not know.
Okay. What, if anything, are you going to do with the blue iPhone that was on the couch?
Collect it, put it into evidence.
All right, any other processing would be done, downloading things like that by other people.
Correct.
All right. And did you ever do anything with a phone identified as belonging to Shirley Bass?
I do not know.
The phones you have mentioned, the one blue iPhone on the couch and the red phone upstairs in the kids' room. We have the two that are in either an Adidas bag or a backpack in the master bedroom in the closet. Is that the extent of any phones in this case?
Yes.
All right, I want to go downstairs real quick. You have a green scale marker, A and B. A was a red substance on the living room floor, correct?
Yes.
All right. And green scale marker B was on the living room couch.
Yes.
Okay. And did you know that Mr. Bass was sitting on that couch with his son?
No.
Okay. Basically, you're not that privy, nor are you told a lot of facts. You're there to document the scene.
Correct.
Okay. Did you go upstairs?
Yes.
You do. All right. Now, you had marked a lot going up the stairs, correct?
Yes.
All right. And coming down as well?
Yes.
You saw anything else? Okay. If you are coming down that staircase, would you go near the area to get on the couch where you found green scale marker A on the floor? Here, let's put, all right, let us put states 22A. There we go. All right, so this is our green scale marker here.
Yes.
All right, and that is going to be green scale marker A, correct?
Correct.
All right. And then we have, this is the couch we have been talking about, correct?
Correct.
And Ms. Reeder showed you some chairs before. Those chairs are further down, separated from the main couch, closer to the glass slider. Is that fair?
Yes.
All right. Now, when you have, here again is my question, states exhibit, we just cited green scale marker A. The staircase, best way to do this. Now I'm going to take my pen. Staircase is going to be this way.
No.
Okay, where's the staircase?
The other way, kind of in front of that pink Jeep.
What is it?
The pink Jeep all the way in the back.
The pink Jeep?
Yeah.
Okay. So the staircase is this way.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay. So this substance that you saw down here in green scale marker A, it was near this couch that I'm pointing to, which is the large couch with the evidence marker 1 on it.
Yes.
Okay. And when we say red substance A states 22B, just for the record, that's what we're speaking of, correct?
Yes, correct.
What, if any processing did you do on red substance A besides take a photograph and measure?
I collected a swab from it.
Right. Are you the one to determine what swabs would need to be sent off?
No.
Okay. Did you do anything, is there anything you could have done to preserve possibly a shoe print or a footprint?
Possibly.
Did anybody ask you to do such?
No.
All right, I want to talk about swabs that you took in the kids' room. From what everything that you testified to, it seems that on the top bunk itself, correct me if I'm wrong, the only real swab on the mattress itself would have been green scale marker O. Is that fair?
On the mattress itself?
On the mattress?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and get to that. While I'm going up the stairs, 22H states exhibit, yellow evidence marker 3. Is this the gauze that you're speaking of?
Yes.
All right. Do we know the significance at all of this gauze?
I do not.
And there was also a clip that was on the couch downstairs?
Yes.
Like a clip you would have like a bandage on and you would clip it.
Yes.
Do you know why that was bothered to be collected?
I do not.
Okay. All right. Is somebody directing you what evidence to collect?
Yes.
All right. So let's go back. If I put these out of order, you guys okay? All right. Thank you. I'm trying not to, but let's look at this one. This is States Exhibit 22R. All right. And this, oh, can't see it in that one. Hang on. Let's use this one.